What's going on, people? Welcome to the live match reaction. Bournemouth 0, Palace 0. We take the point on Boxing Day. I'm joined by Louis here, who we also done the live watch along with. So we'll talk about some of those topics that we were frustrated about in a bit more detail. But as always, this is your show, so feel free to call into the show. The link is pinned, so you can call in now and we'll have you on. Please, if you do enjoy the stream, even if you're watching a replay, hit the like button as well as subscribing and letting us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Louis, how do you feel? How do you feel after that? 0-0, Boxing Day after 5-1 defeat against Arsenal. Do you take the point?
I take the point all day long. I don't really take the performance. But that doesn't matter. If we played really well, had loads of chances and didn't score, then I'd probably be even more frustrated. So I think I'll take the point. It's probably done the stream. You feel a bit like you're emotionally involved in a game. Some really frustrating moments. So now it's calmed down a bit. I'll take the point, move on to another game. I'm just like, yeah, let's just move on.
Yeah. The only thing that's frustrating is that we need to win like 2 games on the bounce to try to close that gap above us. And this was another opportunity. We'll see how we do against Chelsea. But yeah, I mean, we'll take the point because on another day, it could have gone a bit south for Palace. It could have gone to Bournemouth with leading the game with all 3 points because they did create chances. So did we as well. But in the second half, we didn't have as much as we did in the first half. But overall, the performance wasn't great. We can blame maybe fatigue. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I think in terms of the context of things, the fact that we lost 5-1 against Arsenal and we managed to have something now to build on going into Southampton, that is a positive to take. But still, there's a lot to discuss about individual performances. Eze was back today. Eze played 87 minutes. There's him also defensively, build-up play, especially down the left-hand side. It just seemed off. So, yeah, it was a 0-0 game with a few good talking points as well to it. Make sure to send in your comments throughout the stream as well, people. If you do want to call in. Now, let's not even waste any time. Let's bring on the guests and then we can have our chat after. Henry, Boxing Day, 0-0, away from home against Bournemouth. You happy with that?
I'm happy with the result. I'm not happy with the way we played. I'm quite frustrated in the way we played, to be honest. Just with the fact that I don't feel like we made the most of our openings in the final third. I don't feel like decision making was quite there. I think we got a bit lucky at times. I think Bournemouth, on another day, could have easily got one, easily got 2 or 3 goals, to be honest, because they were like that close sometimes, getting like a toe on the ball with the crosses that were going in the box. Having said that, I do think it was quite an evenly contested match because both teams were kind of not really at their best, and they both definitely had some defensive vulnerabilities in there. Ebbs is really frustrating me, to be honest, because I feel like we haven't seen, and I know there's reasons for it, but I'm still waiting to see what he can, the best of him. I can see it in flashes. I can see it in his head. I think his head his football brain is still there, but he's just not quite executing it, if you know what I mean. Like, his body isn't quite doing what his head wants him to do. Yeah, I think it's kind of a bit of frustration at that, but also feeling like as a team we definitely could be better. Because of it, we definitely have an over reliance on Ebbs, I think. And it's like season upon season, it's kind of like a bit dead because we always have reliance on certain players, and then we turn to our bench, and it's 2024, and we've still got players like Schluppy and Ward on the bench, and I know none of them came on today, but my point is that we don't have the same sort of strength and depth that other teams have. When you look at teams like Bournemouth, like, I mean, no disrespect to Bournemouth, they're doing great. And, they're fully deserved to be where they are. But they're Bournemouth. Like, they're a small club. They are a very small club when in context to the English game. And look at the way they've done their business and how they can bring certain players on to change games. And we don't really have that. Kamada for Mateta. I don't know what I mean. I know Mateta was tired, but like, I didn't understand that substitution.
Why?
Because sorry, I got a sore throat, but yeah, I think Kamada is like, he's definitely struggling with a lot of confidence right now. And Mateta is like the best aerial threat that we have. And like, to take him off, especially in the later stages of the game where potentially, you never know. That's the period of the match where you're looking to launch balls in the box and you see what happens. So you want someone like JP there in case.
Yeah, but then if he's tired, is there a point of having JP on the pitch? Because I mean, what was JP really doing when he was on the pitch?
Yeah, but if he's there, there's always the possibility that he'll do something.
I thought it was a positive sub in terms of Kamada came on, and the only chance that we did create, well, half a chance anyways, in the second half, it was from a Kamada ball into the box. I thought he was solid. And yeah, we have to.
It was okay.
Yeah, we got another game against Southampton as well. So
yeah,
if Nketiah's ill, I mean, we have to try to balance his minutes out because you can't have Mateta playing 90 minutes back to back if he can't simply do it. Then you don't get the best out of him. So that's what I'd rather do. But yeah, I mean, we take the point in this game. We're looking ahead to the game against Southampton.
But what do you think? Do you share the same thoughts as me in terms of the performance and stuff?
Yeah, performance wasn't great. It wasn't great.
The performance wasn't good at all. But you take the point. That's all we can do. Like
we will take the point, definitely.
Yeah,
I think JP looked exhausted. Personally, I feel like he looked exhausted after half an hour. And if we're being real, Nketiah being ill was a detriment to us because if we could have brought Nketiah on, it might have been a bit different.
Yeah.
Oh, was he not on the bench?
No, he was ill.
No, he wasn't on the bench. He was ill.
Oh, right. Okay,
he was ill, so he couldn't come on.
Exactly. Right, and what are we thinking about Hughes? Is he injured? How long is he injured? Do you think that looks serious?
I think he took a knock, and plus he was about 2 seconds behind the play. He kept giving away fouls, so I think they just needed to take him out of the situation.
Yeah, he's. I mean, that's the thing about this period. That's why I've just been looking forward to this week ending because I just want a bit of normality to kick back in. In terms of like the schedule, there's just too many games being played right now. We had a Carabao Cup game, then we had the league game against Arsenal. Now we got this Boxing Day game. Then on Sunday we go again against Southampton. Like the players just look a bit fatigued right now, and with a squad that doesn't have that much depth, it doesn't help the situation. The positive is that we've got a window coming up, so we'll see if we do strengthen in that area. But for you, the Southampton game, Henry, is there much expectation from it? I mean, the performance needs to improve, but for me, I don't know what to expect, to be fair. I think West Ham beat them today 1-0.
We have to win that game. It's like what I thought when we played Ipswich. Like the Premier League can't take anything for granted. But I mean, if Southampton even lost today as well, I'm not saying it's going to be an easy game because it won't be. Like it definitely won't be. But we have to target these kinds of games to win, especially with like probably a very packed and very challenging month in January. So
I did say before it was similar to when we played Newcastle when everyone said a draw will be good, but it'll be better if we get a win because then you put more pressure on the Ipswich game. We got a last minute. I'm saying when we had Newcastle, then Ipswich, then City, because people were looking at that City game like that would be tough. We didn't get the win against Newcastle. Put a lot of pressure on the Ipswich game. We won that. We do need to beat
that, isn't it? Like
yeah.
Because we got the point against Newcastle, we beat Ipswich. We got the point today. hopefully we'll beat Southampton. No, but we just need to like be a bit more flipping like brave in the attack. Like that's all we need to do. And then as long as we have the same defensive shape and defensive strength about us, in theory we should be okay. So
yeah,
it is what it is. Palace.
Exactly. I'm at that point as well. I mean, as long as we don't lose against Southampton, we should be winning that game in theory. But yeah, we just need to have back-to-back wins. Back-to-back wins. God knows who's going to be fit for that game. Who's going to be available.
Have we had back-to-back wins in the league?
I don't think so. No.
No,
we haven't. And the gap is just still. I mean, in terms of relegation, we've got a little bit of a margin, relegation zone, but the gap above us, we just need to have back-to-back wins. And yeah, we'll see what happens against Southampton, I guess. But look, Henry, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Henry.
guys. Cheers, guys.
Take care. See you. Let's bring on Tim next. Tim, how you doing?
Hey, Merry Christmas, guys.
Merry Christmas,
Thank you.
man.
Appreciate it.
Good
Boxing Day. Palace. Gay, he said that it was a boring game. Do you agree with him?
I do agree with him. I think it was a terrible game.
Turn the mic up a bit.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
Can you hear me
Still
all right?
quiet.
I can hear you,
still
but it's
very quiet.
like you're in a distance.
How about that? How's that?
That's
Increase
better,
a bit
yeah,
more
yeah.
if you can.
Yep. Yeah, there's a little bit more.
Yeah, a little bit more.
Please. Yeah.
Okay.
If
Let's try that.
you're like
Again,
Palace.
how's that?
Oh, here you
Yeah,
go.
that's perfect.
Man up now.
Okay. All right. There we go.
There we
Yeah, right? Like the intensity not there on my mic. How about
Yeah.
that? Now, so two things can be true here. I've had years of just dreading Boxing Day because we get absolutely drilled on Boxing Day. This has been several seasons now where we've been pummeled. I think it's 3-0 every time. And it's just been miserable. So this was not a fun watch, but I'll take the point. In that context, I'll take the point. But it's not a good performance. And it feels like this is indicative of lack of balance in the squad. So last week, looked very enterprising in attack, dreadful in defense. Today, pretty decent, in defense, although Bournemouth were a little bit off it. I agree with you guys. I think they probably could have nicked a goal there. They had enough chances to do it. They weren't quite on it. But defensively, we were pretty solid. But, oh, my Lord, just toothless in attack. So completely unbalanced. And Glasner has to work that out. He's still working at it. It reveals, doesn't it, how much we need additional players in January. Gotta have them. Both sides, both 10s, need additional players in both 10 positions. Clearly need help at left wing back. You never know. Tyreek Mitchell is a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. I thought he was good defensively, and he was terrible going forward. And you never know what you're going to get from him.
I think Tim, did you see that moment? And I said it on the live stream where he makes one mistake and he lets it consume him for the rest of the game. It's like he makes a mistake. He done it at Arsenal as well. He doesn't really want the ball. Like it doesn't seem like he wants the ball. And I think Munoz
that's not always true, Louis.
No, today I'm talking about today.
Yeah. But I think you make a really great point there, which is that when things aren't going his way, then he shies away from taking the ball, which is, I mean, you played. This is that feels like death on the pitch because people can sense it. The opposition can sense it. When you don't want the ball, they are coming for you. Coming for you. So I think that's a problem. I do want to give some props to Czech. I thought he was decent. I hope that Uzi is not out for any kind of extended period. He didn't look bad, but he looked like he's just been playing a lot of football. So it doesn't bother me that he comes off and he probably has a small knock. Look, Czech needs minutes anyway, and I thought he was decent. Saar is still very dangerous, but we just did not get it into him. And I will say, give Bournemouth credit. They worked out that that's the guy. If anybody was going to turn this game for Palace, it was going to be
Yeah.
that guy. They worked that out, and so they didn't give him a lot of space. They
Yeah.
played very well.
I wanted to ask you, Tim, what do you think about Sarr dropping in that hole? Do you think, because I feel like we play direct, but we don't ever play direct into like areas for Sarr to run in. I don't feel like that we don't have a quality of pot, like just one in behind the fullback and the centre back. Do you agree with that? Do you feel like we're putting Sarr in the wrong parts of the pitch in those pockets?
I don't know. That's a good question, but there were many moments that I saw where Munoz was trying to put him in, and he either missed it or it gets blocked off.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of. You're probably right there, Louis. Though I also want to give credit to Kamada, because when Sarr goes up top, and now you have. I thought probably our most enterprising that we looked was at the very end of the match. We have Devaney on the right, Kamada on the left, both cutting in and both looking for opportunities. And Devaney continues to impress me. He looks pretty good. And I think Sarr can make those runs, especially at the tip of the spear. I don't think we're going to see it very much, though. Hopefully we get Nketiah back. But, I mean, look. We need players. We badly need players. We need Wharton back. We need. I think we need França more than.
Wharton's the one, I think.
Wharton is the one. We probably need França more than we think, and the reason I say that is because Ebbs needs somebody else to step in and be a threat on that left side.
Yeah.
So I don't know, guys, but look, it's a decent point. We're still in 16th. We'll see if any other results go against us. If both results go against us today, the worst we can be is 3 points off the bottom, which isn't great. Not great. It means that we really need, to win on Sunday, but it is what it is.
I think what we really need is. A win on Sunday doesn't change a lot of things. I think we've seen a story of our season so far. Of course, it helps being Southampton, but what we need is to be serious in the January window, because otherwise it's going to be like this throughout the season. Nothing's going to change. We're just going to win one, draw one, and lose one. Like this pattern.
I don't know about that, D. The reason I don't know about that is because we've had this very annoying pattern of not playing well against teams right around us. And then we get the teams above us, Arsenal being an exception here, and we end up playing better.
Because there's more space in behind, but we don't have the squad depth. We need the January window. Otherwise, nothing's going to change.
For sure.
Today,
Today,
Eze came off. Kamada, not Eze didn't come off. Mateta came off, and Sarr went up front. But all it takes is one injury to Nketiah. Or if Mateta's injured, then that's it. We're left with one striker up there. We're lacking number 10s. We're lacking wing backs, especially on the left-hand side. We just need the window. We just don't have the creativity. People are talking about Eze.
Also, I feel like we've lost that switch of play. The amount of times Munoz is free. And what summed up the game for me is Eze finally tries to switch it and he kicks it into the back of Lerma's head. Yeah, I know. And I'm just like...
Yeah, I know. That was very, very frustrating. I will say, Looney said something here. When has our club ever gone in with a January window? Last season, during Allardyce, when we were under.
That's the only time we do. That's the only time we do it.
But
when we're under threat.
And Vieira's first season. Those are the only times.
But I think this is one of those where I think Glasner has made it clear he wants more players. I think we're getting more players. The question is how early do we get them? But yeah, I agree with you. Squad depth is an obvious issue, and we're a little too easy to work out right now. A little too easy. I still think Sarr is a good threat, but you have to do something to balance it out on the left.
Yeah, because I feel like Areola, he's tactically really good. He's probably on the same level as Glasner as a tactician, and he knew that Sarr was the only threat in that first half, and Sarr did not touch the ball in the second half. Didn't get anywhere near it. I forgot Sarr was playing.
Iriola is a very good
good manager.
Yeah, and Bournemouth did defend.
Those two
give them
centre-halves.
credit. Yeah, they defended very, very well. Very well. So yeah,
Maybe that's why we'll take the point. We'll take the point then. That's why.
Yeah, we'll take the point. We'll take the point. It's just I'm not upset. I'm not happy. Like I'm just like fine. Like
this is where
we'll take the point. It was better than the 5-1 that we had against Arsenal. They're not a bad side. Bournemouth are not a bad side. I think that's the biggest positive.
I think
they're not a bad side. And we played them away from home.
6, right?
We played them away from home as well. So it's not
top
a bad
3
point.
form teams. I think top 3 form teams. In the
they also had not lost in 6 at home,
winning 5 of them or something like that.
Yeah. The only thing is, for me, I don't. Even if we beat Southampton, I don't know what really changes for Palace until the January window. Like it's all about the January window. That's when you see changes because that's what I'm saying. Like we could beat Southampton. I think we got enough to beat Southampton, but not much is going to change in terms of the long term.
It kind of feels like best case scenario is you get a few players in January, then all of a sudden Walton and Frank are back, and then you hope for that. You hope for that second half of the season.
That's what I'm waiting on. That's what I'm waiting on. Of course, don't use it against Southampton, but. That's it. Like for me, I'll be honest. We should be beating Southampton, but I'm not like even if we beat them, even if we draw against them, like what's gonna really?
I'll take 3 points against anyone right now. To be fair,
we would. Well, and look, I'll take signings right now. I'll take signings.
Everyone else gets to take 3 points off Southampton.
Signings are actually going to change something going forward. Like if we sign another creative 10, we could be like, all right, you know what? Finally, or another wing back. Let's see what Eze can do. Walton's going to also come back into the side. But we know what this squad can do. Like we've seen it so far this season. We've seen it with injuries, no injuries. We know the limitation of the squad going forward. At times, it can be predictable how we play because we don't have the width. The left wing back Mitchell hasn't been playing that great. Eze's been struggling as well. So it's like predictable from Palace for me so far. Walton coming back will 100% help us, and Corey being 100%. Today, I thought it was much better. But we just need that window. We just need a difference. A difference to me is players coming in, to be fair.
I think that's right. But at the same time, what I'm looking for with Southampton is I hear what you're saying. It's not going to change anything in the table. But what we need is a performance that's a lot more balanced, where that's what I'm looking for, like a decent defensive performance, and we get something that is recognizable, consistent, more big chances moving forward. Given the limitations we have, I know that's going to be difficult, but it's not like it can't happen. Like that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. I haven't watched Southampton today because I was watching Palace. They got a new manager, of course. So we'll see how they are. But then again, like there's no point, even if we go and have a brilliant attacking performance against Southampton, I'm not going to get over the moon with it because I know like we're facing Southampton. I know they're the lowest opposition in the league. They've been struggling all season long. So it's not like something where, let's see if we can turn up against Southampton. No, I think the moral of the story is we could turn up against Southampton with the players that we got, but then we won't turn up against Chelsea or another team because we just don't have enough depth and we don't have enough quality. So for me, until we bring in that quality and depth, it will just be the same old so far this season. That's how I see it.
I get what Tim says in the fact that if we have a good performance, we beat them 3 or 4-0, it will give the team more confidence.
Yeah, it will give it a boost. But I don't think it would be that easy
because it's still. I mean, I'll just what David King says here. I don't think this is right to. I'm not doom and gloom here.
I'm not even doom and gloom. I'm just numb.
I don't think it's doom and gloom.
I'm just numb. There's no point in me getting excited and saying, I can't wait for the Southampton game. I know we're going to... we can beat Southampton. I've seen enough of the season to realize that we just need more players. So
yeah, I get that.
Gap above us, then we need to have back-to-back wins. And it's going to be a struggle to have back-to-back win with the squad that we got. It's not doom and gloom. It's just how it is. We haven't had back-to-back wins so far this season.
I do think though. I know me and Dia we've had this debate. I think a right wing back is just as important as a left wing back. I don't think the priority should be a left wing back. It is both just as important. Or you buy a Kyle Walker-Peters who can play both sides.
The only thing that I've said about that is that left wing back is important because we need a starter. Right wing back is important because we need depth player. So I think left wing back still take priority.
I think Munoz is good, but he's not he needs a player of his level as well to
Yeah,
compete
he
with him.
does.
Because
But
today I think today he was poor. I think defensively, Semenyo went past him way too easily. Atara had loads of opportunities, and in the final third, he was poor again today. I think we need a player of his level to compete. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Or you're just gonna compete with Mitchell, then you're just gonna have the Mitchell situation on the right hand side.
But then when it comes down to it, I don't see Palace spending that money on a right wing.
They have to. They have to.
I think they were doing it in summer. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, I know, but I just personally think
it's like emergency signings. I just don't see
it is an emergency to me. I think that's an emergency. If you play 3-4-3, you have to have 2 of each on both sides.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you have to.
And Kapora's not up to
But remember, Kapora's there. Klein is there. Like, Palace.
Kapora needs to go back to the under 23s.
Yeah, I know. But you know how Palace are. We didn't sign a replacement for Wan-Bissaka for how long? Like when you signed Munoz.
Wan-Bissaka's replacement was Klein.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I have no hope about right wing back. But for me, just sign a number. We need another number 10 and another left wing back at least.
I think it's got to be both, or someone who's versatile and can play both, like Kyle Walker-Peters. Go in your database and find that player.
Would they sell him to us?
I'm saying
doing that. Yeah,
no, but I'm saying you go to your data analysis. All these people, you filter out and you find a player that can play on both sides. Carl Walker-Peters isn't the only player. Like a Dallo can play on both sides. At least someone who can cover on both sides.
Yeah. Let's see. We might get linked to a few players, but I'm not.
I mean, we got 20. You know, we netted 22.4 million pounds roughly in the summer. So there's money there to spend. What do you spend it on? I think
10 and a left wing back.
I think the priority is
that's what they'll do.
I think the priority is the 10 and a left wing.
I think they'll try to spend that money on 2 quality players rather than bring. I just don't see it happening.
Then Munoz gets injured, and then what?
We're missed. Yeah, I know. Kapora, I guess we're relying on Kapora. But the thing is, also another reason why I don't see it happening is because look what Glasner said about Kapora. He's not sending him out on loan because he expects to have more minutes this season. So
because Imre is not here. If Kapora,
I know. But if Glasner's saying that, then clearly they're not really talking about the right.
He said that about Ume. He said that about Uma. Like he's saying the right things, but I don't think he believes it.
I don't know that that's true. I mean, he's put. I mean, especially what he's done with Devaney. I mean, it's still early for Kapora, but he has committed to Devaney longer than he. I mean, he's actually turned him now into the Jeff Schlupp. You know, Schlupp is not coming on late really anymore. That's Devaney who's coming on to change the game. Yeah.
Devaney proved himself. He looks like he's built.
And Glasner gave him that chance.
He's 21. Yeah, he's 21 though. Kapora's 18.
No, I get it, but I'm saying that I think that Glasner will give him those minutes. He will give him a chance. Doesn't mean he's going to be the guy, but he will get he'll get more of a chance. The only thing I don't want to get overly concerned about this, and then you got somebody waiting, so I'll get out of the way after this. I think recruitment is a very delicate balancing strategy right now for us. Mm-hmm. I do not we for the first time in years, we actually have good players out on loan doing good things and progressing. It was weird. Jess wasn't in the lineup today for Sheffield United. I don't know why.
Wasn't in the squad. Yeah, it wasn't in the squad.
Wasn't in the squad. And David Ozo's still out. But both of those guys are first-team players eventually. We don't know when, but eventually, and I don't want to block them. There's years before Caleb Kapora needs to come in and be a first-team player. Danny Imre is 21, so he's closer, and he's been great at Bromley. But I mean, going from Bromley to the first team that's a kind of a big jump. So I mean, but it's a balance. Like we need players, we need fit players, we need squad depth, and not to block youth players that we know are promising that we think can get into this squad. But anyway, look,
Tim, quick one about the sports bank. We need to know about this. What's this sports bank investing into the?
So this is the
just
thing.
A quick summary, like
what's it's a little bit weird. So let me be fast about this. if the report is right, then what Sportsbank is looking at is to invest, potentially not buying out Texter's shares, but instead put money into Eagle Football Holdings so that Texter can do more with his holding company. And with that extra money, because it wouldn't be a takeover of Palace shares, that would be more money available to Texter to potentially be available to Palace in the winter window. That has a benefit, gives us more money if that's true. Also, if it's true, it means that Texter isn't going anywhere.
Yeah,
He
which
may
doesn't make
be,
sense.
yeah, he would stick around and maybe try to buy out Harris and Blitzer with the extra funds that he's got. So we don't know. We don't know what's going on here. I think the odds of a new investor giving Palace money in the winter window are very, very low. I'm curious to see what happens with the Sportsbank deal, because it's funny to me that Sportsbank, instead of investing in Palace, was going to invest in Eagle. We'll see how this shakes out.
Okay.
It's a little bit
It's
strange.
so confusing. It's like
It
every
is
other day we
confusing.
hear something else,
Yeah.
and to me that doesn't make any sense, because the reason why Texter wants to go is because he doesn't have much of a say in Palace. So that means Harris and Blitz will have to sell the shares for that to work out. And also with Texter, how would that work between Texter and Parish? Because it seems like they both want to have different approaches to how to run.
Well, all
football
he needs to get, D. I mean, again, this is like financially technical, but we can be super brief about this. What if he gets more money from Eagle Football and he gets 51% of the club? And then he says, Steve, you run it. You run it.
But he doesn't like that, though.
He doesn't
That's the whole
care.
problem.
No, he doesn't care, D. I'll tell you why he doesn't care. If he gets 51%, that is all he needs. The only thing that John Texter cares about is once he gets 51%, then Crystal Palace Football Club is equal to all other assets in Eagle Football to go public on the New York Stock Exchange. Then it's no longer minority interest. Then he has a majority interest in Crystal Palace, and then his financials look better. They look great. And
You know why
he's
I
like,
disagree
okay,
there? Because he came out in Athletic and he said that he regrets the power that Parish has. So I don't think he cares about just the 51%. I think he just wants control over how this football club is being run. And clearly,
I don't think
Parish
that's
and
true.
him run it different.
I don't think that's true. I think in the Athletic,
that's what he
well,
said.
but what he said in the Athletic interview, though, what he said is I regret not being able to take it over. I thought I could. He thought he was going to be able to do that, and he was blocked from that. All he cares about is taking it over.
I don't think he wants Parish. I've got that sense from minute one. Like, I think Parish wants to run it differently to how he wants to run it. Otherwise, he'll be fine. If Parish wanted to run it how Texer wanted to run it, then why would Texer complain? He's fine. He's fine. But he's come out publicly and he's tried to buy out Everton and other clubs. He just wants to run it in a more riskier way. But he's willing to take the rewards. We've seen it with his other clubs. Botafogo won, I think they've won one.
Yeah, they won the Copa de Libertadores.
Yeah, exactly. So I think him and Parish just have different approaches. And
I do think that is partially true, because he said that, but he's also said, I would be happy to have Steve Parish running it. He's doing a great job. He said that as well.
But did he?
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did.
I don't know, because I thought
it was the
opposite. I thought it was more of a case of like he regretted Parish having it with that power.
No. He regrets not being able to buy the club. He regrets not being able to buy. He wants, I'm telling you, D, what he wants. The thing that is preventing Eagle Football Holdings from going public in the United States is Crystal Palace. He has total control of financial control. He has financial control of Lyon. He has financial control of Molenbeek. He has financial control of Botafogo. So when he reports results, if he was a public company, he would report results, and all of those would be just standard. And then Crystal Palace would show up as minority interest. And so Eagle Football would be less valuable. He can raise less money. If he has financial control of Palace, he can raise more money. Do not give John Texter more credit than he deserves. He wants money. The answer to your question
that's
is
the
money.
thing. And I know that because I've always questioned him from the minute that he came in. Like, how on earth is he getting his money? Because he got the ideas, but he hasn't got the money. And I don't know how this would help our situation. I guess it means that Harris and Blitzer need to sell up. Do they want to sell up? I think it's Blitzer. Was it Harris? One of them might be open to, but then what about the other one? Like, it's just confusing.
It is confusing.
It's confusing. Sports
I wish it was less of a distraction.
And
to
also,
be honest.
sports fan buying into Eagle football holdings. That means they have interest in other parties apart from Palace as well, because they're buying into Eagle football holdings that owns Lyon, Botafogo, Montpellier.
Yeah.
So it's like, how much of that money would go towards Palace of the investment? Like, it's just
that was always the issue with any.
I don't know. I would have preferred like Sportsbank buying into Palace directly rather than Eagle football holdings. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know if they can. I don't know the finances involved, but it seems like it's not going to be done that soon. I don't know. I don't know.
It's not going to be.
I thought I got a bit more clarity from that. That's all I wanted to know. I wanted to know because
I don't know how you got more clarity, because it is weird, man. Like Dee said, it's very confusing. So we don't know any. But I do think Textor and Parrish have been like this at times, but they do respect each other. They do get along enough. But this selling out and what Textor wants Eagle Football Holdings public. That's the one thing that is undisputed. He wants that. He wants an IPO.
Do we want that? The fans were vocal about not wanting it. Well, the HF were vocal about not wanting it. I don't even know.
I personally would, if Textor were to take over and take Eagle Football Holdings public, I wouldn't love that, but it wouldn't mean that Crystal Palace Football Club would be public. So it's not as bad as the headlines.
Yeah, it's not us, it's the Eagle Football Holdings, but then it'll be it'll be that part of the, like, it's a bit confusing because it'll be Eagle Football Holdings, not Crystal Palace.
Does that mean if the Eagle Holdings was on the stock exchange, we could all buy a bit of Palace?
Well, you can buy a bit of everything.
You'd have shares of Eagle Football. And then you'd have, the Eagle Football, how it produces its results would be based on it had ownership interests in all of these clubs, and so you'd get some some amount of investment that is a representative investment in Palace, but it would not you wouldn't directly own.
I get what you mean.
Crystal Palace. So it's weird. Texter is not making it easy. I've kind of killed him because I think he's making it harder, and I do think he's reckless. Having said that, we don't know what's going to happen. We just don't know.
Yeah, let's see what happens. But look, Tim, great having you on. Hopefully we catch up with you again soon.
Take care, guys. Have a great one.
That was Tim having to say. Let's bring on Mr. Coop. 0-0 draw. Boxing Day, back to the football now. Finances on as well. But you was in a live watch along as well. And you was expecting Bournemouth to score a goal. So I guess you're probably happy that we got a point against them because of how we played.
Grateful for small mercies, I think is the expression. But I think the vibe in the watch along was, we were just kind of hanging on. I've seen Palace for so many years, and when we are so disjointed and with such a lack of threat up front, it only takes a goal to lose a match. And I've got to be grateful. I've got to be grateful for the point, to be perfectly honest. It was a hard watch. It was a very hard watch. People made a few points. I thought it was amusing what you were saying, Dee, a moment ago, or maybe in the watch along, I can't remember, by saying, well, there's this bit of a gap of 5 to 6 points developing between the bottom 5 and everyone above. And he said it would be nice for us to get some back-to-back wins. Well, a win here or there would be a good start. Back-to-back is dream scenario at the moment. We'll pick up wins as and when we will. Just interesting, the classic thing about the transfer window. Again, it's the transfer window is almost like seen as the magic wand. If it's not happening, the transfer window will sort us out. And the thing is, even if we've got money, you've got to remember, if you're a player, would you consider moving to a club that's on the fringe of the relegation zone? It's always been the issue. If we're 15th or 16th, then I don't want to be overly pessimistic, but the lower you are and the more in trouble you are, then the less likely you're going to get the pick of the transfers from those that are, those that are actually looking for a move. A move to the Premier League obviously is great, would be fantastic for a lower league player, and they might bite your arm off. But some agents would say, yeah, but you could be back in the Championship, in a matter of months. So, yeah, I reserve judgment about the transfer window because it's always the great unknown, and it's always a great exciting thing that we might bring in somebody who can change the game. I think our greatest loss at the moment is Wharton, not having him around. I don't have any belief that França is ever gonna make the lineup. I kind of see him in the same envelope as Ferguson, who eventually ran his contract out and left the club. But if that proves me wrong and he comes back, then that's fabulous. I just wanted to do, I know it's not player ratings, but I just wanted to do a quick run through the players today on my perception. Hennessy didn't really have anything to do.
Hennessy?
The back.
Henderson.
No, I always say Hennessy. Yeah.
PTSD there.
Henderson. Yeah, whenever I hear Hen, I always think of Hennessy, which is wrong. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah, so Henderson was inactive. The back three, I give them all a 7 out of 10. They were fine. We kept a clean sheet. Eze, there was a time when he received the ball about 35 yards out. He struggled to get the ball rolling under his own feet. It looks like almost a fear or resistance to surge forward, maybe brought about by thinking, I don't quite know who's going to be available for me. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do when I get 20, 25 yards out. I don't know if anyone else felt that, but I thought that sort of epitomised the performance today. Even when he got a bit of space to run, he's ever so slow off the move these days.
Can I quickly just jump in and then you can jump in quickly for the super chat? Appreciate the super chat from James saying, guys, a contribution towards your Palace stock share. Really appreciate it. Thanks for that. As always, go ahead.
Yeah. With the Eze situation, I think his decision making has been so poor recently, and I'm one of his biggest fans. But I think it's the other way around. I think the players don't know what he's going to do. He's running at defenders. He's running in the middle third. I don't know. Players make runs. I feel like he makes the wrong pass, makes the wrong decision. And when you don't really know what the player's going to do, then everyone's hesitant about what runs they're going to make. It happened in the first half a few times where he kept picking the wrong pass, and then it just got progressively worse and worse.
Yeah, he goes forward. To my eyes, he goes forward with a lack of confidence, not knowing what's around him, and equally, I think that's representative of all the players. There doesn't seem to be. I don't think any of us recognise a system, particularly that we're playing when we're going forward. So that's Eze. I don't want to bang on about Eze for too long. Munoz very much underused, and then if you switch down to Mateta, we were saying in the first half that it was all going down the left. And so there was nothing for Munoz, and we needed to feed him more. And that's why Mateta really didn't get a sniff all day, because it's almost like going back to the Benteke days. He wasn't a bad player, but under Hodgson, he never got any service. He never got any balls into the box. And the same is happening with Mateta today. He looked, as we know, shattered when he came off on 75, 80 minutes, but shattered and morally crushed because he had so little service to actually get on the back of. Another thing about bringing the ball out, I find that when we're bringing the ball out of defence, you've got Mateta and Eze receiving the ball with their back to goal, and frequently they're losing it, and then we're losing possession about 30, 40 yards from our own goal. I don't know if anyone else saw that, but we just don't seem strong enough in receiving the ball back to goal is one thing, but then the thing is you then quickly lay it off to someone else who's in a bit of space. You can then make some more space yourself, and then everything makes its way up the pitch. But we seem to just be smothered. Certainly today, we were just smothered by Bournemouth's press whenever we were trying to bring the ball out. That's distressing, and it makes you wonder if that's the best system to work. It's not working for us at the moment, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What about Lerman and Hughes? I thought they were a bit below par today. I'd give them about 6 out of 10. didn't really have a great deal of influence. Lerma giving the ball away, in my perception, a fair few times.
Yeah. I think
when he absolutely smashed that ball in behind after
I think
wasteful.
Ideally, as good as Hughes and Lerma have been, Wharton and Doucouré, Wharton and Doucouré still, for me, would be the ideal start in two. But then again, Doucouré came off the bench today. He was a bit more positive. However, he hasn't been 100%. You can tell by his performances. But yeah, I mean, Lerma and Hughes, they're playing a lot of games, aren't they? I mean, they have played a lot of games already. So it's like asking an awful lot from them to play. I mean, I expect Lerma to start against Southampton, but it's a lot of games. You got this game, you got Southampton game. We just only played Arsenal. Then before that, the Carabao Cup. It's during this period, you expect a bit more rotation, but I guess we couldn't do that because we just don't have the players right now.
Well, I've just seen the first 15 minutes, half an hour of the Wolves Man United game. And Wolves are struggling, but they seem to be attacking with much more coherence and energy than I saw out of Palace all day.
But you know what the difference is?
You know what the difference is? Open.
The wing backs. Because I think Semedo and Ait-Nouri are wing backs. Like, they can offer you a bit more in attack. However, with Palace, we've struggled. We've struggled with the width. I mean,
and they've got Cunha instead of Eze.
Even last season, you look at Mitchell and how good he was playing. It helped Eze. I know we talk about Elise, but Mitchell helped Eze as well. Not just Elise, because Mitchell was getting forward under Glasner and he was actually a threat. So teams couldn't defend against Eze as they are right now. So yeah, I think it falls down on the wing backs because I think they're playing a back three as well.
I feel like Cunha is what we need Eze to be. So if you've watched the first 10 minutes, Cunha has taken the ball about 50 yards every single time and shrugged everyone off, got them up the field. He's winning free kicks. Eze is ambling about with it in our own third. Cunha he's pushing their whole team up 30, 40 yards. And that's what Eze was doing.
But is he able to do that because Man United have the threat of?
I don't know. I think Cunha's just a powerful player.
Ait-Nouri pushing down that side because I mean that gives him a bit more space. Right now with Palace, the problem is teams can leave Mitchell. In fact, I did think that they wanted us to build up from the left hand side because they know
they did.
That's what Bournemouth wanted, and that's why we did. Especially in the first half, later stage of the first half, we just build them down the left hand side because the ball would go to Mitchell and Bournemouth they were loving it. However, with Wolves, you got Ait-Nouri there, so it's not like you can just focus on Cunha. You have to focus on both threats, and we just don't have that. And that's been a problem. But looking ahead now, unless have you got any other ratings or?
No, that's about it really. I didn't think Doucouré when he came on again. He looks still off the pace. Doesn't really look as if he was struggling, I have to say. But yeah, no other references to players, no.
In terms of looking ahead now to the Southampton game, any changes that you'd make from this one? I think that's a big one. West Ham beat them 1-0, but I've just seen a West Ham fan say that they didn't have a great performance against Southampton. So it's not like deserved that 1-0. So which just maybe they might have a new manager bounce. They might not be as open as they were before. For you, Southampton game, what are you really expecting?
Well, I think if we put a foot, we got past Ipswich. I was at that game. We got past Ipswich, and we pulled out a great performance against Brighton. Just on the basis of the most immediate game, which is the game that finished, an hour ago. It's not the most uplifting. I know that we should be able to get past Southampton, but my goodness, if we don't, then we are looking a bit perilous. I remember your comment, Dee, I think on a particular rant at the beginning of this year in January. I think we'd just gone. I can't remember what stage we went out of the cup. Did we go out in the third round? We went out really. I think
was it on? No, it was a Newcastle Carabao Cup last year. I can't remember under Roy.
The FA Cup, but we went out really, really early on, and I remember it was like only no later than late January, and you saying that's our season over. And it's right, because we had nothing to play for. We were in a terrible position in the league. We were out of all the cups, and it was almost like we just want to get through to May, go away on holiday and reconvene. I'm just terrified. I'm sure we'll get
Everton in the cup replay. It was Everton in the cup replay.
Ah, right. Was it third round?
Yeah.
I can't even remember.
We drew and then we drew that terrible game. And then it went into a replay.
I mean, we've got Stockport at home. And in fact, Louis Barry, who's been very good for them, he's been recalled by Aston Villa. So they won't even have him available for the FA Cup game. So yeah, the FA Cup, we have to focus on that. But most importantly, we have to bring in players. But let's see. Southampton, hopefully we get 3 points. And then after that, after Southampton game, before the Chelsea game, the window's actually officially open. So maybe by then we'll see maybe a few players' names being mentioned in terms of who we're after. Because right now it's been mentioned, but it's still fairly quiet. But I expect it to be because Palace are doing the business behind the scenes. They won't like all the news to be spilled all over social media. But look, appreciate you coming on. Hopefully we can catch up with you again very soon. Enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, thanks, guys. You too. Thanks.
Care.
Enjoy the watch along.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank you. Take care. Let's bring on Patrick next. Patrick?
Hey guys, how you doing?
0-0 against Bournemouth away from home. Happy with the point, or did you expect a bit more?
Oh no, I'm happy with the point. I'm more disappointed we didn't score, but I'm happy with the point. Bournemouth's always a tough place for us to go and win. When was the last time we won there? Was it the COVID year?
Ago.
Yeah,
we do beat them. We have beaten them
A couple
there
of years ago, though.
but I can't remember exactly when that was, of course.
Yeah, we haven't gotten a lot of results last year. I don't think we beat them. We didn't score against them last year. So, I thought a little bit more skill or common sense would have in the final third would have gotten us a win today. Other people don't want to talk about Eze. I'll be glad to. I always called him the Shadow because he's a shadow for himself, or he's Robin when he thinks he's Batman. Well, he better turn into Nightwing because some of his control of the ball is awful today. It was just off. He had a couple of nice passes in the box. That one he set up Munoz on his left foot was pretty good. But I just think, and I've said it all year, I just think some type of formation change may be better. He's kind of like floating on that wing on the left, and then he's going deep to pick the ball up. Just change it to 3-5-2 and let him be the only 10. Maybe with more ball responsibility and him in the middle of the pitch, he'll actually pass the open people. He won't ever pass it to Mitchell. I have no idea why there, because they were just 2-3 guys around him today. He was picking one bad pass after another, and I think on a lot of those opportunities that we did have, him making that wrong pass cost us. So I think, and just to bring him back in because he's coming off injury, I've never been a favor of that. If you're not playing well before injury, why should you get your job back? Not that anyone's made that spot their own, but that's for everybody.
Do you have many other options though?
Not really. That's where I'm about to sound like a hypocrite.
Yeah.
I would be honest with you. I liked when Devaney came off the bench today. It's like only 10 minutes he played, but there's a lot of energy there, a lot of legs. We won with him in the lineup before, or at least we got a point. The game against Villa when he scored, I believe. So, I mean, I would have gone that route and brought him off the bench because that bench was thin. I thought Decore didn't play as bad as the last guy on here said.
Decore was good when he came on.
Yeah, he's getting his timing back. But I expected us to get 4 points in the next 2 games, and the formula I think pretty much happened. I mean, we never win at Bournemouth. It's been a couple of years since we got a result there, so I'm okay with it. We look like a team that has no depth that's playing on tired legs. I would like to. Yeah,
I think. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, sorry. No, go ahead, D. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. As I said, I think what you said about tired team. We spoke about the depth. Like that's why until we see like real changes in terms of the transfer business, I think our season will continue in this trajectory of like we'll pick up a point. Playing against Bournemouth is not bad at all away from home. They're a good side. They literally beat Man United 3-0 not too long ago. And they're beating Arsenal this season at home. They've caused problems to big teams at home, Bournemouth, and we've done relatively well. It's not like they bumped us. Like
they've only lost once at home.
They're better than us.
Well, this is where I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So
I was going to say,
I think we'll go back and forward in terms of in terms of these results and expectations. For me, we beat Southampton. That's cool. But what do we do in January? If we want our season to change and be a bit more consistent, I think that doesn't. Of course, players coming back from injury will help, but there are still 1 or 2 positions we need to strengthen.
With Southampton, I think. Do you think there's we could potentially maybe not drop? I know it's harsh to say drop Mateta and Eze, but I feel like in the Premier League subs are so important. and maybe getting 30, 40 minutes out of Eze and Mateta might be a little bit better. Maybe it's time for Nketiah to have a chance.
I don't think they should drop Mateta. I mean, you're asking him to hold the ball up at the midway part of the pitch. Most of the time he gets the ball.
Though.
Yeah, but he's setting you're asking him to run the channel, set the ball. He shouldn't be receiving the ball, leading a break.
I'm just saying in the sense of protecting the player. Like, I feel like Mateta is dead on his feet, and maybe the only way we're going to get the best out of Nketiah is if he has a start somewhere.
Well, is he going to even be available, or was he sick?
He was ill, but I'm assuming like he wasn't.
The flu is nasty. I'll tell you now. I don't know how.
I love Mateta. I think he's a top quality Premier League striker. But today he looked tired, and not only he was playing against two very good centre halves, and they nullified him completely. They won everything in the air. They were good. They were good with their feet. They didn't really give him a chance to nick in.
This is where I'm a little disappointed in the manager in a way, and I'm not. Everybody loves Glasner. I think they were. I don't know how they still ended up hiring him. I don't know how they pulled that coup. But him like any other manager is stubborn in his own way. He's going to play his system. He might modify it in game a little bit, but it's always going to be that same system. And certain players are going to play out of it. And I just think if he changed the method of attack a little bit, I think we'd be a little bit better off with this current squad we have. Also. Yeah. He there's still enough depth. He could rotate a couple of players. Like, I mean, he could have played Devaney today. He could have played Decore today. Hughes coming off in the 51st minute did not surprise me. I've been saying for the last month, that guy's playing too many minutes on those legs. In Southampton, like you said, it's an opportunity to start a couple other players. That's me. I would be very disappointed if they lost to Southampton. Really. Like, we're better than them. We shouldn't be, 16th now? We're better than that. Southampton's not a good team. They're going down, and they'll be the first one to go down, I think, and we should win.
Yeah. But look at Bournemouth today.
We got a draw, you know.
Bournemouth dropped Evan Nilsson.
Huh?
Bournemouth dropped Evan Nilsson today. I don't think that was a drop. That was just a rotation.
Yeah. Right. And I think we need that as well.
I don't think we should drop players. I feel like they need to be rotated.
Yeah, because Mateta, I do agree with you. I think Mateta, similar to how I didn't want Eze to start against Arsenal last time around, I think Mateta's reached that stage as well where I'm saying that he could probably score against Southampton. But I'm just looking. The good thing is that after Southampton, we are kind of going back to normality. We got Chelsea. Then we got the FA Cup weekend, so it's not like midweek weekend. Like, I think we got Leicester after the Stockport game, midweek game, but like it's going back to a bit more of normality. So maybe not drop him. Sorry, wrong word to use. Maybe rotate it if we can. That's if Nketiah is fit against Southampton, and if we need him, bring him off the bench, and then he has bit of time to rest. Then we got Chelsea. Then afterwards he can play as normal. He might just need that one game to sit about, and then we got like weekly games anyways, rather than this many games in a row. So I don't know. I'm not against that.
I think the schedule lessens up too. I mean, you have
it does after Southampton. Yeah,
Southampton after Chelsea. You have West Ham, who even when they win, they're not looking very. Yeah, Stockport's that's an FA Cup win. They should win that. The up until the end of January, there's a lot of points we can jump in there. I mean, just I look at things, the points, I look at it as games back. We're 6 points behind United or Tottenham, something like that. Or 5 points behind West Ham. I mean, it's like a game and a half. So you win a couple in a row. Easier said than done because we haven't done it. But the point is, at least there's some games coming up where you can see some wins. And Southampton, there's no excuse if we lose to that. I don't care if we're playing kids. They are bad. I mean, really.
Yeah, I'm just calculating. So in January, we play 5 games. In December, we play 6. So it's one less game that we play. I guess it's because of the FA Cup. But I think after this FA Cup weekend, it's like the schedule's not too bad in January. It's not too bad. I mean, we got a game on the 26th of January against Brentford. Then on the 18th against West Ham. So It's like going back to the only weird game is the Leicester one, which is a midweek game. Apart from that, it's pretty much just weekends. So that's why we have 5. So normally you would have 4, I guess.
Yeah,
4 in a month. But yeah, so it's going good. But
So-
let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, real quick on the transfer window, not to jump on that, but 4 players, 2 wingbacks and 2 10s.
For me, at least 2. Left wing back
Okay.
and a 10, but Louis wants a right wing back as well.
If I was to go for 4 players, it would be a left wing back, right 10, and a centre midfielder who could play as an 8 and a 10. Like my dream player is Drewsbury Hall. That's a player like that. Can play an 8 and a 10. A left footed with that profile who can push forward, get a goal, but also because Walton's not back yet. Hughes is tired. Lerma's tired. Decore is going to need a couple months to get into full fitness. So
Yeah. All right. Well, guys, I know you probably got somebody else or you're about to go. So thanks for taking the time with me. And I guess we'll see what's up Sunday.
Yeah, let's see. Have a great holiday. Take care, Patrick.
Take care.
That was Patrick having his say. We're going to wrap up. If anyone wants to call in the last few minutes or so, the link is pinned in the live comment section if you do want to call in. If not, we're going to wrap up right in time for this Wolves-Man United game. Let's go through some comments. If you haven't already done so, people, please hit the like button. It does help us out. Every like does. I know it's tiring to hear, but yes, please. Animal saying that was a fresh Munoz today and he was underutilized. Ebbs had a rest as well, just what Ebbs has become. We need to see more from them. It was on Munoz's fault, but Ebbs has to be better. But yeah, I mean, Munoz, when we did use him, I guess he wasn't bad today. I think the left-hand side was our problem rather than
Kirkez is, me personally, Kirkez is much better than Munoz.
Of course, yeah.
So if we're talking like it's fullback versus fullback, remember Munoz is playing 1 against 2. He's playing against Atara and Kirkez. Like Kirkez was probably the best player on the pitch today, I think, personally. So he might have not been underutilized. He just was playing against a player who's better than him.
Yeah, he was. But yeah, I've got no problems with Munoz. With Munoz. But let's see, man. We've got another quick turnaround, of course. We're playing on Sunday, right? Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Sunday.
So barely any
rest. Huh?
Player ratings tomorrow.
Oh yeah. Who's even doing that? I forgot.
Me and Pat or me.
Oh yeah, Pat. Yeah. Player ratings, then somehow preview.
Yeah.
Probably have to do tomorrow as well. Because there's barely any time. That's what I'm saying. I just want this festive period to end and like I'd rather do the Palace news rather than preview reaction because there's just so much going on. Like even for the players, you can tell like Mateta today was off it. But look, we're gonna end it with this. Cheers, guys. Thanks for the stream. Up the Palace. Enjoy the rest of your Boxing Day, everyone. As Boomer said it there. Enjoy the rest of your Boxing Day.
Yeah.
If you're still on holiday, enjoy your rest. Don't worry. Palace will be here Sunday to disappoint you all. So apart from that, happy holidays. Take care, people, and we will be back most likely tomorrow for more Palace content. But until then, up the Palace.